What's poppin', internet? Welcome to another episode of the Synced Up Podcast show where we talk to you about news, games, and sandwich a little fun in between. I'm one of your hosts, Timothy DeRoe, and joining me this week on an off week, Jordan Lance. Have we ever done the pod together?
I don't think we have.
I don't think we have.
I've done it with Mike. I don't think I've ever done it with you.
Yeah, I've done it with Isaiah, and I've done it with Mike. I did it with Adri once. I know you've done it with Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah's done it with Mike.
This sounds real weird. I've done it with Jordan.
Yeah,
you've done it with.
Right,
you've done it with Isaiah.
Mike's behind the mic.
This
both
sounds like
together.
Like
Today.
overdue.
Yeah,
Quite personally.
I know it's a little weird. Yeah, Mike's doing the production work today. He's not feeling too well, so he's back there on the ones and twos, keeping the show going. And I'm joined by Jordan. Instead, he's slotting in that slot. We are recording this one day early on Saturday instead of Sunday because Sunday's a packed day.
It's just a weird. This is.
I guess I could say, yeah, Happy Halloween. I guess I could say this because Adriana's not here, but tomorrow is a packed day because I'm proposing tomorrow.
Yeah, boy, you better hope she says
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, I know she will. She knows that I'm going. She knows I'm going to propose. She just doesn't know when or how. She thinks I don't have the ring yet and none of that stuff.
Wait,
So I'm really excited.
So this is gonna go out, and then they're gonna see this after you did it.
Yeah.
So they have a
So to
response.
them, it'll be yesterday that I proposed. But from now,
that's a weird comp.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you
That's a little weird.
excited? Are you
Yeah, I'm pretty
nervous?
stoked. I'm pretty
I
stoked.
feel like you're nervous.
Yeah, I'm just a little nervous, but not too nervous because I know that she's gonna say yes.
No, you can tell him the energy he's had all day, bro.
He's a little.
He's been a
fidgety.
little too excited about playing Animal Crossing.
Going to church tomorrow, taking her little brother to the zoo. When we come back to the cribbo, we're gonna go to the garden. Mike's gonna be hanging around the corner. He can come sneaking out once I go to pop the question, get the cameras going.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited, and then I built her a little basket of like snacks and shit. I'm gonna give her at the end.
What kind of snacks though?
It's like Takis, hot Cheetos,
Let's say
almond
if you didn't get the
Joys.
right snacks, you might get a swift no.
It's all her favorite snacks.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, brother.
Yeah, I'm
Glad
stoked.
to hear it.
Yeah, I'm very, very stoked. But it's not talking about engagement. We're going to be talking about today the Halo Infinite campaign overview that dropped this week, the PlayStation State of Play, and more Smash clones coming out. These ones might be better, might not be. The rumors are all over the place. Who knows? But before we get into that, a little bit of housekeeping for you. First and foremost, sorry that we're stuffy. It's the start of the fall season.
That's just my life.
The allergies it comes in hard, and I've been getting fucked like the past few days. Mike too.
Interesting.
That's
That's on baby.
Yeah. But if you enjoy the show, even though we're stuffy, you should consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/syncedup, where for $1 you can get access to the lovely Discord where we narrated the Oklahoma Sooners game today.
We really just gave play-by-plays all day.
Yeah, that was a good game. And we talked about other things. Soccer got talked about in there a little bit. Or for $5 you can get access to post shows of all the shows we do and many more goodies, all from youtube.com/synceduppodcast and podcasting services around the globe. New episodes of this show specifically go up in all of those feeds Mondays, 7 a.m. Central Time Zone gang. You can also write into the show to synceduppod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, concerns, or the reader mail submissions tab of the Discord, by the way, and we may read those on the show. You should also consider dropping a follow on Twitter @synceduppod to keep up to date with all of our content from across the board. Dun, 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 the big board. Hopefully in the camera you can't see this moth that's annoying the shit out of us, but it's definitely there. I definitely feel
You can see him in the camera. I saw him earlier.
I haven't seen him. Are you sure?
He exists, bro.
He exists, bro.
Is this
I can hear the flicks. I can hear the flicks. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of Metroid Dread. Even though Mike's behind the camera, he's going to get in on that. Jordan will talk about some Grounded later after the news.
Yes, sir.
And I'll talk a little bit about getting back into Animal Crossing, even though I only played 10 minutes. Mario Party will get talked about next week. We have purchased it, but I've not played it. But let's get into the news. Let's break down that Halo Infinite campaign trailer. Did you watch this thing?
I have not watched it yet.
This is by Ryan Gilliam at Polygon. So you are now a Game Pass subscriber, so you're going to have access to this bad boy. So that's really exciting. A new trailer on Monday for Halo Infinite showed off a ton of exciting details about 343 Industries' latest game launching December 8th. But the overview also moves pretty fast, and it's easy to miss some of the biggest reveals. We've gone through the trailer multiple times to pick out all of the details. So 7 things that we've seen in the Xbox Halo Infinite campaign trailer. The weapon, aka the new Cortana. At the very start of the Halo Infinite trailer, we see Chief holding a purple Cortana in his hand, a throwback to the AI's original color for Halo Combat Evolved before she got bluer in its sequels. The narration provided by Jen Taylor, voice of Cortana, and seemingly also the weapon, mentions that collecting the new AI will be Chief's first mission in Halo Infinite. From then on, it seems this new version of Cortana, designed to stop the original, will live inside Master Chief's head and fill the player in with info as well as providing commentary. Master Chief got himself a garage. Master Chief has had a big over this dad energy for years, so it's nice he's finally getting his own garage. A brief moment in the trailer shows off Master Chief choosing from a selection of vehicles before going on a mission. He passes up on a Mongoose, the two-person motorcycle first added in Halo 3, and picks a Wasp jet. A pelican flies in and drops the wasp next to Chief. The Spartan then hops inside, and we cut to him using the flying vehicle to take down an enemy base. It seems players will be able to unlock vehicles for orbital drop in Halo Infinite, but that is not all. Forward operating bases, aka FOBs. The Halo Garage seemed to be a feature of the forward operating bases in Halo Infinite. Called FOBs in the map menu, the trailer hovers over FOB Golf for a brief second, just long enough to grab a description. When controlled, forward operating bases reveal banished and UNSC activity in the surrounding region, serve as a fast travel hub and rally points for UNSC Marine fire support, and provide access to vehicle drops, weapons, and weapon variants. Gaining Valor unlocks available resources for all captured FOBs, defeat the banished, and access the control terminal to claim this FOB. Forward operating bases resemble outposts in a Far Cry game. When you enter a new region of Zeta Halo, it seems like the first move you take is to the nearest FOB so you can unlock your garage and a host of weapons to use, but the FOBs provide more than that as well, offering fast travel for Chief and NPC Marines to fill in his Warthog turret. Enemy bases. While Chief will need to flush out the Banished, the game's primary enemy faction, from forward operating bases in each area, he'll also be able to shut down enemy bases for what looks like experience points. For instance, the trailer shows off Ransom Keep, a Banished base with 4 silos in it. Chief's mission, should he choose to accept it, is to destroy 4 of those silos. The game offers a brief lore description of each base as well as any collectibles found nearby. While we only see one of the single map shots from the trailer, it seems like this could be how players fill a good deal of their open world time in Halo Infinite. Experience points and upgrades. I know it keeps on going. Each piece of equipment has special upgrades. Yes, you read that correctly in the last paragraph. Halo Infinite will get some light RPG elements. However, the upgrades may not be as substantial as you think. It does not look like you'll be beefing up Chief's armor or unlocking any cool wrestling moves. These upgrades are all about equipment. Master Chief has a variety of equipment at his disposal in Halo Infinite, similar to Halo 3's equipment or the Halo Reach armor abilities, but unlike Halo Infinite's multiplayer, this equipment does not run out of uses. Equipment operates on a charged base system that refills over time. Chief can also hold and shuffle between multiple different forms of equipment, whereas multiplayer Spartans can only hold one at a time. We saw Chief use an electrified grapple shot, the grappling hook, on a brute earlier in the trailer, then got a shot of the menu itself. The only ability we got a good look at in the upgrade menu is the thruster, a boost propelling Chief forward. It has upgrades that reduce its cooldown. It's safe to assume all the equipment have an upgrade like this based on the icon, plus one that adds an additional charge and another that adds speed. But the final upgrade, the one Chief unlocks mid-combat in the trailer, cloaks the Spartan briefly after he dashes. Finally, all the equipment in the trailer has an initial Spartan splash page in the menu that says equipment acquired. That raises the question of how players might get these items. Will there be kind of a Metroid-esque progression system in Infinite, gating players from high collectibles until they have the grappling hook? Chief unlocks these new upgrades with Spartan cores, which look like collectibles out in the world. However, it seems likely Chief can also acquire these via experience points, which we believe will be called Valor based on the FOB descriptions. Big bosses. One thing Halo has never done well is bosses, but it looks like Halo Infinite will have several. We see a few different enemy types but burst into rooms with some fanfare, and we even see a named enemy with a health bar. But the trailer also introduces us to some interesting villain NPCs. There's a new elite that specializes in Spartan hunting, what looks like a very large Promethean woman, and of course, Skyrim, a big brute that leads the Banished and currently looks like Infinite's main antagonist. Targets and missions. This is the last one. Finally, the map gave 2 more hints regarding Halo Infinite's structure. There's a mention of targets on the bumper map at the top. While there aren't any details about this, we suspect it might look something like the various cult targets in the modern Assassin's Creed games, or, hear me out, the Nemesis system, that's all I'm saying, or the old mission menu in Crackdown, if you want to bring things back to the Halo 3 era. If you're unfamiliar with those systems, we'd wager the target menu might call out specifically named enemies around the world that Chief needs to kill, either to complete the game or as a side mission. The named brute we mentioned in the boss section above could easily be one of those targets. The map also has an A button prompt to view missions, meaning Halo Infinite's open world will have some kind of structured missions, or maybe side quests. So this was a 6.5 minute trailer.
That's a lot
that packed this in. Yes, there was a lot of stuff packed in there. So first and foremost, different direction for Halo.
I think it's really good. Actually,
me too. I'm so in for it.
Now follow me here. This is what, just from reading this and hearing it, this is what it sounds like to me. Okay, this sounds to me like Ghost Recon Wildlands Halo.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Of course, they're wanting this to be the launch point. They don't want to release newer Halo games. They want Halo Infinite to be the launch point of different Halo stories in the future. So maybe we get a short 4-hour Arbiter campaign that's set on the Sangheili homeworld and stuff like that. So that stuff can be cool. But other than that, like just all of these things in here.
I think
so. The new Cortana,
great.
that makes sense. You got a Cortana, you kind of want to retcon what you did. Halo 5, it wasn't
sure.
as so you got to do something like
And
that.
I also think that almost sounds kind of like an influence from Red versus Blue, where they have all the conflicting AIs. So
yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's an interesting way of tying that kind of story in.
Having the garage, so being able to do like loadouts and stuff and pick like vehicles going into this, that makes perfect sense. If you're gonna have this open world, you got to take out bases.
Absolutely.
Oh, maybe I want to fly in from the air. Maybe I want to ride in on a warthog with my homies. You know, different things like that. We've seen a clip in the trailer where he's flying a Banshee and 2 Banshees are chasing him. He jumps out of his Banshee, pulls out the rocket, destroys one Banshee, grapple hooks to the second Banshee, hijacks it. It was pretty badass. It was really, really cool.
That's fun.
I think this is what I was saying a year ago before Halo got delayed. Mike will remember. Anybody who's been listening to the podcast for this long will remember. I said I think Halo Infinite needs to be the God of War 2018 of Halo to really save it, to really bring it back to the forefront. Halo kind of fell off there. Halo 4, okay. Halo 5, okay. While I personally like both these games, general critic consensus and the audience consensus is not that
They're
great.
not great.
They want to play Master Chief Collection to get in that Halo 3, Halo 2 story and campaign and multiplayer, but the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta was smacking.
It was good.
It was so good.
Very good.
So fun. It felt like that classic Halo 2, Halo 3 sandbox, just
For
fucking
sure.
Around with your friends.
Everything was going nuts. It was going crazy.
Mike realizing a guy was going to grapple hook him and driving off the map. Just crazy events with Chance running us over with the friendly fire.
He murdered
Even though
us.
that's annoying, led to really, really funny
We
moments.
were laughing so hard.
The barrels, being able to throw those, really, really cool stuff. So the multiplayer is going to hit, and we were just waiting to see for the campaign, and it looks like the campaign is going to hit because I'm here for all of this. Forward operating bases, taking out bases of Banished. I'm into that.
This sounds like for a certain niche of gamer, I think Halo just never hit that because it's very linear. It's very, you're gonna go in here, you're gonna feel like a badass for this level, and then you're gonna get a cutscene.
And you don't see that as much nowadays. These linear games, you see Guardians of the Galaxy is linear, but most of the time you don't really see these linear narrative games. They're very few and far in between. And I think another linear Halo I don't think it does enough.
I don't think it would have performed.
Yeah, but doing this, like, you have XP, you have different equipment you can use, the recharge, you can do, you can take out these bases, you can do side quests, you can do. I'm so in for that. It popped up Collectibles when you were highlighting what was the forward operating base golf. It said there's 3 unclaimed skulls in this area. There's 12 unclaimed Spartan cores in this area, which you use to get upgrades, and that's like, hell yeah.
And
like,
if you have collectibles, then the achievement hunters are gonna love this game.
And I love Halo. I think Halo. Yeah, here you go. You can see down there.
Yeah, for sure.
All that stuff.
See, that just looks reminiscent of like Ghost Recon or even Shadow of War.
Yeah,
like where you're like, okay, I'm in this new area. I gotta do all these things.
Yeah, I'm 100%ing this.
Yeah,
100%.
I can't wait.
This looks so.
If the campaign plays as well as it sounds, all of us are gonna be deep.
I have been recently, of course, people will know in the Discord that paid at the $1 tier at patreon.com/synced up. You can get in there as well. I've been talking about the Halo books and how much I've been enjoying those. And in the Halo books, like, there's a lot of good lore and a lot of good stuff like that. And the Halo games themselves, while there's good lore and good story, you don't really get to explore the world.
You don't get the world building.
Exactly.
Like,
and
I think
you
get Chief's story, but you miss out. Like, and as unfortunate as it sounds, because he's the main pro tag, like, everyone loves Chief.
Yeah.
In the Halo world, it ain't always about him. Like, there's so much going on.
I don't want to get too incredibly hyped, like, because I'm saying things that haven't been confirmed in the game, but little moments like because it said it'll highlight UNSC activity and Banished activity. If you can have these weird things where you're like, man, I wonder if I can go over there in that canyon, and you run over there and you run into a group of UNSC and you get your own little micro story.
Sure.
That's the type of shit that I'm so into, and you implement that into Halo, and you're getting me Game of the Year vibes right there off the jump.
This might just be a me thing because like, I love open world games like that.
Yes, they're great.
I love when the AI interacts without me.
Yeah, exactly.
So like a game that does
when
it really well.
It's a lived-in world.
Yeah, so like Assassin's Creed Odyssey did it really, really well. I'm sure Valhalla does it too. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
I know I'm late, but like when you run up on a cult member or you run up on like one of those mercenaries you're hunting and you're fighting another one, it just makes you think that like you're just a part of the world. You're not the world, and it just feels so immersive.
Yeah.
Another game that does it really well is actually like Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Right? They have just random stuff happening. So you'll be walking and there's a giant fight in a town.
And then you just jump. Yeah, you jump in.
Like,
there's a giant.
It just makes the
beating
world
on some
feel
mammoths.
Real.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
So big. So if Halo can find a way to do that, I'm in
for it, especially on the Zeta Halo. I've been getting a lot of Forerunner lore and stuff in the books. I'm up to Halo Reach. It's time for me to play the Halo Reach game and Halo 1.
Sign me up, bro. Anytime.
And so, like, I've been getting a lot of lore. I'm very excited for most of this. The new enemies, there's the new Forerunner enemies that they're introducing. Having these bosses with health bars and stuff that's nice. That means we're going to get some really cool moments with that. I think having these targets and missions that just sounds to me like optional side quests.
This is great.
And as Master Chief, sign me the fuck up.
I think that they're going this direction is really.
It's a good idea.
It's really intelligent for them because they've been building. Chief is just this badass for years, and now you get to now you're no longer like, I'm gonna take these orders, I'm gonna do what you want me to do. And now it's like Chief is handling shit.
Exactly. And also, 343 needs to set themselves apart from Bungie.
Yes.
With 4 and with 5, of course, you're still dealing with the fans reeling from the fact that Bungie is no longer making Halo. Mm-hmm. They already think 343 sucks because they just want it to be Bungie. They don't really give those games the light of day. Those games themselves don't end up being as good because 343 is trying to emulate Bungie.
For sure.
343, you stand up and you say, you know what, fuck it. We're not going to emulate Bungie. We're going to make our Halo game. And if that's what this is, which is what it seems like it is, I think they can really shine and they can recover what they lost with Halo 4 and 5. And this can actually be a big hit and bring back Xbox first party to the forefront of things, make Game Pass an even bigger deal. The fact that the multiplayer is free already, you pay Game Pass to get the campaign. Even if you wait a few months to play campaign with your homies, because 4 players in that open world.
Now, see, I will admit, when you talk about something like Ghost Recon, right, like, the multiplayer was good.
Yeah.
But if they can find a way to perfect that, this game could easily be you can get pillar of gaming for a long time.
It honestly kind of makes me want to wait to play the campaign, because if you could get 4 of us, just basically blue team, Spartan blue team out there on the Zeta Halo.
That raises a really good question. For people who know Halo lore, right, you know that Spartans operate in teams, right?
Yeah, they operate better together.
That really makes me wonder if this is a situation where, once a co-op camp comes out, if you're playing as like Kelly and Linda,
that would be nice.
Or if you're playing as your own Spartan, they can do so much of that.
And they were talking about on the XCast, what if it's just different characters? What if the Arbiter's there and then this guy just plays a Marine and then this guy, and it's just different characters. But that could still be cool,
and
that would be tight.
Like put yourself in the shoes. You're like, man, I'm just a USNC Marine, and I'm rolling with Arbiter and Chief. Yeah, like that would be so many options. There's so many good things you can do with that.
I'm very, very excited.
Should we wait to play that,
dude? Because I think we could just run with the multiplayer until the campaign drops. And I'm still trying to catch up in the lore and the books and stuff. It might be worth waiting to play the campaign.
I could potentially see myself waiting for the co-op campaign.
I don't know. I need to see some details.
The last co-op game that we played together or in a group, besides like Grounded, right, was Divinity, and it was great.
Oh, that was such a good time.
But I wouldn't want to play that by myself.
Yeah, that was such a good time.
So I think, especially because this much of an open world, there's just so much potential. Making it co-op in a way
because you take that multiplayer sandbox feel of just crazy shit going on and put that in a single player
with a
we
story.
Can run around and fuck around
with a story.
Because even playing multiplayer and campaign in Halo already was like you were just fucking around and finding stuff
for sure,
finding out like glitches, the little floating guys like on that one in Halo 3 and stuff. And you do that in Halo Infinite with an open world, a big open world, a huge map.
And I wonder if they do something like...
I'm super into that.
They do something like Divinity did where you don't have to be together, right?
Yeah.
So you could be like, hey,
go
bro,
do your own thing.
I'm trying to take this thing. You come help me real quick. And then you're rolling in as Chief and Arbiter comes flying in.
Yeah, it could be nice. Yeah, definitely. But enough Halo talk. I know we've been going on for about 20 minutes. We're really passionate about it. Super excited.
It's so good.
Jordan's now on the Xbox system now. So now we got a big gang of people that are all on the Halo like train ready to go.
It took me a long time to come back, but I'm glad I came back to Xbox.
Fielding is there. Lucas and Spencer, Spencer has an Xbox, but Lucas, even though he's on PC, we can get Noah in because that shit is free. You don't even need Game Pass to play the multiplayer. And we can have a hell of a time.
That is so wild.
You can get a full 12-man private lobby to go into a big team battle. Go into game chat and have a hell of a time. I'm very, very excited. But let's go on to the opposite side of the spectrum. We're going to switch over to PlayStation because they had a state of play this week. This is a state of play roundup from the PlayStation blog itself. Wow. So I don't have a lot to say about this because I didn't watch the state of play.
I didn't watch it either.
And once I found out towards the end that it wasn't really super worth, I didn't go back and watch it. So I'm just going to give some brief descriptions of these. Anything I have to say about them, I'll say it. Most of these, I'm just going to roll right on. So my apologies. Deathverse Let It Die, a multiplayer survival action game built around a reality game show in which you'll fight it out for fame, glory, and fortune. If it's anything like Let It Die, the skate game, this could be something really cool because it's like a very self-referential fourth wall breaking game and people really like it. But it sounds like a survival action game, which the other one was a skating game. So a little weird. I don't know. We Are OFK. Indie pop band OFK teams up with the co-designer of Hyper Light Drifter for a new 5-episode music biopic series. Now this is cool. So I saw a description of this. Instead of being an indie band and making a biopic show or movie or just whatever, they decided to do their biopic as a game.
Which is cool.
Which is unique and new. So I'm excited to just see what this is.
I don't know. This kind of sounds like a Noah kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it would pull me in. Now, maybe reviews come out and they're like, "Man, this is great.
Yeah,
you should try it." I might.
Yeah,
but I just like seeing unique takes on things, and I think that's very niche, but it's very cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's super cool. Bug Snacks, the Isle of Big Snacks. Hungry for more Bug Snacks? A new free update is coming early 2022, introducing a new island, living space, and the ability to dress up your favorite Bug Snack. So this is right up Noah's alley as well. Bug Snacks, one of Noah's favorite games of all time. Get excited for more of that. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Find out how to evade prowling animatronics in the most ambitious Five Nights at Freddy's yet, out this December.
They're never going to stop.
No, they're never going to stop. And this one looks just as good. And I'm super excited because I like the other ones a mild amount. I played Sister Location, which did some different things with it, and I really like that one. This one seems to be like taking it to the next level. And the Five Nights at Freddy's, well, I don't really give a shit about like the lore or anything. Like the games themselves are pretty okay.
It's kind of wild that they like obviously games are always reminiscent of each other, like sequels. But it's kind of wild how they really just do the same thing. Yeah, but they make it feel different every time. It's so intense. It's
crazy seeing this guy go from that first game to getting the crazy success, due in part to YouTube and stuff like that. You know, game theory and all of that helping him out. To now being able to make these crazy big being seen on the big screen. Basically.
Shout out for sure.
Of course, you love to see it. Death's Door. Journey through a dark and offbeat world as Bird with a sword in this captivating adventure. Read the PS blog post to find out how its creator is using DualSense controllers features to further immerse you in its world.
I did hear about this. I didn't watch it, but I heard about this from somebody else who watched it.
Yeah.
I would just want to play it to see because the what is it? The haptic feedback is wild anyways.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to see what they can do with that.
Yeah, it's really good. Death's Door, by the way, if you want to play it, it is on Xbox Game Pass already. It's coming to Switch and the PlayStation later this year. But if you have an Xbox and you have Game Pass already, you can just jump on there and play it there. Kart Rider Drift. The Unreal Engine 4 powered arcade racer brings its competitive and combative modes to PS4, and you haven't a long wait to try it. A beta launches this December. Nothing really to say about that. King of Fighters 15.
Wow.
SNK's fighting franchise debuts its newest fighter and announces an open beta test coming next month. King of Fighters, big game for fighting game fans out there.
Shout out.
Not for me.
Miss me.
First Class Trouble, the social deception game, launches into PlayStation Plus next month. Find out how you can survive rogue AIs aboard a luxury space cruiser, or as an AI, how to pass as a human.
How do you think this goes? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I got a question.
What?
Is this Among Us?
That's what I was. That's what I was saying. How do you think this goes? Right? Because Among Us, while it was a very vicious trend, right, for a while, it's very straightforward. This seems like they're trying to take that to a level of like.
Hear me out.
Hearing you out.
This game, while it may not see as popular success as like Among Us,
I think it'd be better.
Social deduction games have always been popular,
and they hit almost every time.
Before Among Us, you had Town of Salem. Like that, like you got the board game versions.
We got
like
Werewolf,
Secret Hitler, Werewolf,
Avalon.
Those games are always good.
They hit. It's because it's just you and your friends that you make the game.
Yeah.
It's you just make the game. Really, really, really good stuff. So this has some potential. Star Ocean: The Divine Force. Mike, I'll kiss you if you bring me a Coke Zero, bro. Right on the mouth.
While we're on that, I'm going to move on and say that I don't like that name.
Star Ocean: The Divine Force, me neither. Square Enix marks the 25th anniversary of its sci-fi fantasy RPG series with the announcement of a new title coming to PS5 and PS4 next year. No clue.
See, I love Square Enix.
Yeah.
Never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, me neither.
Nice.
Little Devil Inside. Get an extended look at this Victorian-like era action adventure, showcasing gameplay and its intriguing miniature-like world map.
Pay up.
No, dude.
Pay up. Pay up,
no,
baby.
Dude. My lips are chapped.
There's a lesson in there, kids. Always mean what you say and say what you mean.
Exactly. Little Devil Inside, one of the top indie games on the wish list out there for PlayStation users and fans. Get excited for it. You got a new look at that. That's super, super dope. One more little thing from the Sony side. They now have an official PlayStation PC logo.
So
it's wild. You would have asked me 4 years ago if PlayStation would be porting their shit to PC. I would have told you hell to the no. Xbox is only doing it because they're lagging behind. But now PlayStation's porting that stuff all the time. They've now announced this PC branch of what's going on.
You said Xbox doing it because they're lagging behind.
Well, yeah.
But the difference is Xbox it is owned by Microsoft.
Well, yeah.
Which is like it makes sense.
It's a given transition, but yeah,
they're putting it on their own market.
Yeah.
PlayStation is having to put their game on a market that's not theirs.
Shout out to them for that, though.
Maybe market is not the word, but like,
yeah,
they don't know.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
So I think it's a weird comparison.
They're starting to do it all the time now. God of War, Uncharted is coming, Horizon is coming. Being able to mod those things is really cool.
But
now it's an official thing. PlayStation PC, which is that makes me think You're gonna start seeing Forbidden West come out. 8 months later, boom, PC. And I think you're gonna see that. We just need a little bit more stricter messaging on this.
Do you see a PlayStation marketplace coming to PC? Kind of that way your PlayStation Now subscription will also include games that will be on PC. Like,
I don't think so.
Is it PlayStation Plus where you can play all like 20 different games that are all like rates? Yeah. Well, most of those greatest hits are making their way to PC.
They are. I don't think so.
You don't think they do?
I think we would have already seen something about this if that was going to be the case. They're putting it on Steam, and so I think you don't really compete with that because I think Sony is treating this as separate markets, which is why they're bringing it later, which is why they're not worried about people saying, oh, this is supposed to be exclusive. That's like the big thing. I think they're seeing it as separate markets, and they're saying, okay, our games has peaked their sales and is starting to dip. It's made all the money it's going to make for us here on our platform. Send it over there because it's not going to hurt the sales over here. That's just going to give us sales over there, and that's just more money. So I don't think they're really trying to – and competing with Steam is just impossible. It's very impossible unless you're really big, like Epic Games, and even them, they don't really do too great of a job of it. So I really think they're treating them as separate markets just as a way to – give a little bit more longevity into their games and kind of revive them a little bit because it is a separate market and it has been shown to not really affect your sales on consoles. It doesn't. If anything, it just improves them.
For sure.
Yeah,
I support. I think it's cool.
Support as well. Smash Bros. Clones though. Warner Bros. Smash Bros. Style game Multiversus, which is a good ass name by the way, is leaking all over the place. Knock back. This is by Wesley Lynn Poole at Eurogamer. In concept, this stokes the shit out of me. The leaks continue for Warner Bros. Smash Bros. Style game Multiversus. Multiversus, which Warner Bros. Has yet to announce, has suffered a number of leaks in the last week, including details of playable characters and even a portion of the game's character select screen. Now, images that show stages have leaked via a document that first appeared in the Discord of a Smash content creator, Papagenos, via Reset Era. The images appear to confirm the Treehouse from Adventure Time and the Get Swifty concert from Rick and Morty are stages. Word of the project said to include the likes of Scooby-Doo Shaggy, Lord of the Rings Gandalf, Tom and Jerry, Fred Flintstone, Mad Max, and Johnny Bravo as playable fighters, initially surfaced on Reddit and was subsequently verified by GamesBeat's Jeffy Grubb. The image showing a portion of the game's character select screen revealed a mysterious new character alongside Steven Universe, Batman, Harley Quinn, Adventure Time's Finn and Jake, Shaggy, Superman, Wonder Woman, Gandalf, Rick and Morty's Rick, Bugs Bunny, and Tom and Jerry. The document revealed yesterday, which would have been like Friday, shows just how similar Multiversus is to Smash Bros. And apparently confirms a knockback percentage system Smash Bros. Fans will be very familiar with. The latest leak also comes with supposed new gameplay details, including Arya from Game of Thrones as a playable character. Wild. Prior leaks suggested Multiversus could be free to play with future fighters such as basketball star LeBron James to be sold as DLC. Warner Bros. Has yet to respond to Eurogamer's request for comment about the leak, but the fact that Warner Bros. Blocked a video about it on copyright grounds makes this one pretty much nailed on. So this is all but confirmed. This is definitely coming out.
Wild.
I got a lot of shit to say about this. So in concept, Warner Bros. owns a lot of properties. A Warner Bros. Crossover fighting game would fucking hit.
It could, in just terms of characters that they can bring in, could rival Smash on the like
just on in a different area, but like
like
Velma. I'm in there kicking ass as Velma.
I'm Daphne and I'm over here fighting Steven Universe, right?
Yeah, that's cool shit.
I'm Arya fighting Scooby Doo. Like that's just wild to think.
That's really stuff. That's really cool. It could be. Yeah, look at that. There you go.
Now I will say, this kind of looks like a mixture of Smash and Brawlhalla, right? But I'm here for it. I like the more cartoony.
Yeah. Now, the thing that holds me back, free to play. Yeah. Free to play is where you start to lose. Look at this, bro. This is fire. This is fire.
No, interesting question here. Why Shaggy and not Scooby?
Okay. All right. You don't know about the whole like.
No, I do know about Shaggy being
Ultra Instinct. Yeah, bro. Of course.
And they're leaning into that. Also, there's a couple of things, because it's still just rumors and leaks and nothing is confirmed.
Gandalf?
Yeah, that's Gandalf.
Where's Legolas?
They own a lot of properties, so it could be really banging. Free to play makes me wary, but doesn't rule it out for me. There are free to play games out there that bang. Apex, Brawlhalla, those are prime fucking examples. Brawlhalla is a great free to play Smash Bros. Like game, and it's fantastic, and it gets tons of support in the future. So free to play does not necessarily mean bad, in my opinion. I think it still can be very good. But that just makes me a little more cautious. Yeah. Yes. DLC fighters being paid, that doesn't trip me. I know a lot of people on Twitter were like, bro, this is whack. That just makes sense.
In today's world, that's just such a common thing.
Yeah, you have a free-to-play game, and you can play 10 rotating characters, like in Brawlhalla. Yeah. You want more, you pay for them. Exactly. That's how it is in Brawlhalla, and it works well for them.
What's the other game we play like that?
Go ahead, Mike.
You want to talk about a list of big franchises?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I got the wiki pulled up for Warner Brothers franchises. You just want to see it?
Yeah, go ahead and show it.
Okay. So let's see here.
You zoom.
So it starts out all the Adult Swim stuff.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Now imagine they put that in the game, right?
Oh yeah, because Warner is just Cartoon Network, right?
Yeah,
most of it, yeah.
Venture Bros. Yeah, and then you get into Cartoon Network, which that's a big one.
Yeah, you
got all this stuff, which we all know the Cartoon Network.
Dude, Ben 10, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
That's potential. You can
then,
do a lot with
Ben 10,
all the DC comic stuff.
Yep.
There's so many,
which is a lot. Like, for Christ's sake, they have a fighting game that's just DC Comics.
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera, I think we can skip, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's like Scooby-Doo, Shaggy. That's Boomerang.
Lord of the Rings.
Right? Powerpuff Girls, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's easy. It's easy.
This game could be fire, bro.
Samurai Jack, bro. Put Samurai Jack in the game.
All right. Now we're going a little obscure. New line. Austin Powers.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Blade.
The Mask.
Can they use Blade, though? Because Blade is Marvel, isn't he?
That's iffy. That's iffy.
Bro, you can put Elf up in here.
This is
the
Jason,
Ninja
Freddy.
Oh, then you can put the Ninja Turtles in. So all the
NetherRealm stuff.
Mortal Kombat, all NetherRealm. That's tight. Like you could do some really cool stuff here. But that's not to say that this game also can fall hard.
Oh yeah.
But I think it has incredible potential.
Wait, did y'all even say Harry Potter yet?
Nope.
No, Harry Potter. One of the things that leaked about this game is that some sort of thing. They called it a tag team fighter. Nobody knows if that means you play as two people at once. Nobody knows if that means that you pick two characters. When one dies, the other one comes in. Nobody knows if that means you can tag in and out, kind of like the duo mode in Mortal Kombat. Nobody knows what that means, but one of the things that were leaked with it was it's called a tag team fighter. So, but even still, this could be really cool. I think the way you make it the most successful, you try to copy Smash Bros. To as much as possible. Try to be fucking Smash Bros. Exactly. And you'll be successful.
Unfortunately, normally I support be unique, right?
I agree.
But when you have that much property, just do the same thing.
For this game, that was the downfall of PlayStation All Stars. Yep. Everybody just wanted it to be Smash Bros. If PlayStation All Stars had just copied Smash Bros. To a T, that would have been a much more successful game. I think that's what they should do. If you're gonna make a platform fighter, try to copy, especially with all these properties and all this crazy shit. Just copy Smash Bros. Just copy Nintendo, and you have all these properties. And you can make a decent game just by making a platform fighter copying Nintendo. You can really do something here.
I think I'm decently hyped for that.
If Nickelodeon All-Stars can kind of carve out a little section of the fighting game community for people to play it and enjoy it, even though the licensing is weird, none of the characters have voices, all that shit, Warner Bros. Can do something really cool because they own all those licenses. Batman could be in there. Fucking, where's Rachel? You know what I'm saying? You could do some really cool shit.
I don't think that's the Batman.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Can we get Heath Ledger Joker in it? Like, come on.
Yeah, you could do some crazy stuff, and this is potential.
I'm down for this.
Yeah, I am as well. I think
it's really cool.
That's it for the news this week, though. Went a bit long, but it was an exciting week. It's been the first one in a while. We're starting to lead into the holiday season. Now let's talk about the section of the podcast following the news.
Wait. I got it.
What? It's called?
It's about like a week.
This week in gaming.
It's not this one.
We go over the historical releases, and you guessed it. This week in gaming. This week is the COD week, but you know.
Spoiler alert! I read through this. Fire.
That burp was so good.
That was demonic.
Yeah, that hurt. November 1st, starting November off with Star Wars Battlefront 2 in 2005.
Solid.
Fucking banging, dude. The Galactic Conquest mode was so good.
Yeah, facts.
And it took like a week, and it was fire.
But it was good. It was so
Sonic
good.
Generations in 2011, not so fire. But Uncharted 3 in 2011, pretty heat.
It's okay.
November 2nd, Spyro 2 in 1999.
Classic.
God of War, Ghost of Sparta, the
Have
PSP.
you played this?
Yes. It's not bad.
I'm pretty sure this is the one where you fight Persephone. Yeah. And that fight was very unique.
Not bad.
Very cool.
It was the one on the PSP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not bad. 2010. November 3rd, Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal in 2004.
Fire.
Dragon Age Origins, boy.
Don't even get me started.
2009.
Oh.
Okay. Followed by 2 Call of Duties in 2014 with Advanced Warfare, and in 2017 with World War II. Okay. November 4th, Ratchet & Clank, the original in 2002.
They like November too.
They do. GTA 3, 2003. That's what started it all. Then you get San Andreas and Vice City. Getting San Andreas on Game Pass is going to be fucking heat, boy. Yep. Cannot wait. And then Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm in 2008. Shout out to Austin. 2 CODs on November 5th in 2007. The original Modern Warfare, Heat,
fire,
and then Ghosts.
That game started our gaming
4.
career.
Yes, sir.
100%.
Yes, sir. And then Call of Duty Ghosts in 2013.
Fire campaign, multiplayer trash.
Yes, sir. November 6th, Silent Hill Origins in 2007. Halo 4 in 2012. Almost 10 years since Halo 4. Kind of wild. Wild.
Get out of my head.
Black Ops 3 2015. Okay,
Good.
game.
It was good.
Not bad. And then The Forest in 2018. November 7th, you have Guitar Hero in 2005.
Fire.
Mario Party 7 in 2005. Donkey Kong Country 3 in 2005. That's a good day. And then in 2006, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2, Gears of War, and Guitar Hero 2. Another good day.
Guitar Hero 2, fire.
Mm-hmm. Gears of War 2 in 2008, and then Sonic Forces in 2017. Fire. Not a bad week. It's definitely the Call of Duty week, but pretty good.
I don't know if I don't think it tops. Was it last week?
Last week or the week before last? I cannot remember.
This is a good week. There's something for everybody on this week as well.
Yeah, this is a good week.
But it makes sense, though, because we're getting closer to Christmas.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to release around Christmas.
Yep.
This is good.
Now it's time to talk about the games that we have been playing. Let me get off the couple of things that I've been playing. It's really, really small before I let you go into Grounded, and then me and Mike can go into Dread. So I booted up Moonglow Bay.
Okay.
I tried to play a little bit with Adriana, but it took a while to get through the tutorial where she could actually join in and play. And I realized that just really wasn't the type of game that we were looking for. I wasn't really vibing with it. It feels like a voxel art style fishing starter game, and that's cool, and I'm into that, but I'm not into that at this current moment, so I went ahead and set it down. But it's on Game Pass, so
doesn't sound like a very co-op-y experience.
Yeah, it wasn't really doing it for the co-op, and I didn't want to play it by myself for sure.
Yeah.
Then we tried Unraveled 2, the 2-player EA puzzle game where you play the little yarn people.
I've seen that, yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
great game. You should consider playing it with Ali if you want.
Okay.
It's on Game Pass, so you can download it for free. Super simple controls, and if there's any hard platforming moments, there's a button you can press that lets you piggyback on the other character, and then you can just jump with them.
See, I remember the platforming. Whenever what were you playing? You were playing Mario. Which Mario was that?
What are we talking?
Mario 3D World.
Yes,
where we were carrying each other.
One of you had to die till you could get to the hard parts.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. That was a fun time.
I think it's a good mechanic to be like, listen, we can't do this together. Just hop on.
Come on. So there's a lot of puzzles that you do have to work together. So it does like encourage that teamwork and makes people feel accomplished. And it's simple, really cutesy, good music. So Adriana's digging it. And if there's any hard platforming points, she can just jump on my back and I can do the platforming and then she can hop off. It's really, really nice.
Might check that out for sure.
Yeah. And then of course I booted back up Animal Crossing. I haven't got too far into it. I picked some weeds, did some grabbed some oranges,
classic,
ran around. Felt very overwhelmed at first, but getting hit with a wave of nostalgia of my town and being like, wow, this was a whole era.
You did this. I did this.
Yeah, wow. And then all my townspeople were like, you just said goodbye and you've been gone for so long.
That's so cool. Yeah. I love games that like make you feel like whenever you're gone for a while, they're like, bro, where you been?
Yeah, they were freaking out. But it was tight.
ESO. When I took that big hiatus from ESO and I came back.
Yeah.
One of my companions was like, "I thought you were gone forever." I was like tearing up. I was like, "Man, you remember me?"
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So cool.
Now you have been playing with the boys with Isaiah and Chance. A little bit of Grounded. Tell me what you think about Grounded. I know I played a little bit back in the day in early access. It's still in game preview, so early access, but a lot more has been added. What's going on?
Which is okay. So that's first off, it still being in early access is crazy to me because that game feels complete.
Feature
that
full.
Game feel that there's so much to do.
That's good to hear.
So first off, when you first join in, you get nothing, right?
Yeah.
They give you no story, you get no explanation, you have no idea what's happening.
Yep.
But it's so easy to pick up what's going on. It's so easy to get into it. Like
that first little section was pretty linear. Not linear, but it was. Like,
I mean,
like
you kind of have to.
You have a little
linear.
thread.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're in.
Yeah.
All right, you should probably go here. Hey, you should probably do this. And at first, you're like, I want to go explore. I want to go do all these fun things. I'm like, dude, I saw a giant spider. I want to go see him.
No, you don't.
Isaiah was like, no, you don't. And
you
I was like, no, I
go
got
see
this.
him at all.
2 minutes into the game, I'm dead. Right? He was like, stay on the path, and I said, no, I died.
Yeah,
so
build yourself a little base.
It's very reminiscent of.
Y'all got a forward operating base yet?
We do. I was actually kind of funny. We were sitting there, and I was like, Isaiah, what are you doing? He goes, bro, I'm knocking down grass. I'm making a base. And so for 30 minutes, he chopped them. I picked them up. We stacked them.
Yes, sir.
Right? And it feels very reminiscent of Minecraft.
Yeah.
But the difference between this and Minecraft is one, I think the art style is very pretty.
Yeah.
It's very cute. It's very
cute.
It's like a.
I love Obsidian.
Like a 3D cartoon. It's really cool. And I think that the objectives feel more realistic.
Yeah.
Like in Minecraft, you're there and you're surviving, but like in Grounded,
it's Honey I Shrunk the Kids, which is just fucking cool.
And it's awesome. The crafting system, being able to craft anywhere on the go, but only being able to craft certain things in certain places,
unless you have
awesome.
unless you're around the table or whatever.
The way they interact with the world, like the survival system, right? You have to eat, you have to drink. In order to eat, you have to kill bugs.
Get the little honey
you have to
drops.
cook it. Then you have to go and get the dewdrops in the morning off the grass.
Yeah.
You have to knock it down. Like that's such a cool concept.
It's cool stuff.
I really like how you cannot be doing the same thing and still be contributing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Chance joined. Me and Isaiah played for a night at first, and that was me learning the game. I was kind of understanding what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Dying a lot. Shout out Isaiah for saving me a lot.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Would not be as fun by yourself.
Of course not. Those type of survival games definitely need some buddies.
When we finally got Chance in, it just felt like a real game. Because Chance is like, hey, I'm a little behind. I need this. How do I get this? I'm like, oh, I know where this is. And then Isaiah's like, oh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
And it feels like a team effort. And then you got one person who's like, hey, I'm going to handle food today. So Chance is just killing things, cooking things.
Yeah.
Isaiah's like, I'm going to load up the armory. He's killing things.
You got goals and you're marking tasks off, and that just
cool.
feels good to be like, okay, our food stores are up. I'm gonna go take care of this, and that's a classic in Minecraft and stuff. So,
and it's one of those moments where you feel like I spent all night one night getting our water supply, and I felt so accomplished.
but it still felt good.
Yeah, it feels great.
Exactly.
And then it's also very intense. Like it's a very cartoony, very fun. A kid could play it and have a great time.
Yeah.
But there's also moments where your heart is racing. Like me and Chance, we were going to investigate the new objective, and I fell in a spider web. And the spiders are asleep in front of me. Yeah. And I was like, Chance was like, stop moving, don't move. I was like,
it's intense stuff. Yeah.
And hit a sneaker. Like it's just very
Gotta
fun.
love playing with the boys.
Anything with the boys, sign me up.
It's fun. Can't wait.
Did you want?
Yeah,
Anything else?
can't wait.
Sign me up.
Forza's gonna be good too.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna be very, very fun. Everybody be playing that?
I've also been playing modded Skyrim for the first time.
Oh yeah, you've been digging into that. Jumping back into Skyrim for the first time in a long time. Plus now you got mods for the first time because you never had like a PC or anything.
Modded the hell out of it. I have
stuff.
so many mods. I have combat
alternate
overhauls.
start, my boy.
So many things. First off, Skyrim will never not hit.
Yeah, it's good.
You can play the vanilla Skyrim and it's gonna be good.
Will Elder Scrolls 6 ever come out? I don't know.
Probably not, but that's okay. We got modded Skyrim and it feels like an entirely different game.
That's good to hear.
I've put in 28 hours already. It's
fun.
It's so good.
It's fun.
And it's free.
Yeah.
You get free access to
Game
modded.
Pass is fire.
It's insane.
But that's the games EA play.
And I really like what I like about Skyrim is obviously they heard the community and they're like, hey, we're just gonna make you guys able to do this, right? So you can just download any of the mods you want. Obviously you're gonna have issues sometimes because those are all PC mods being ported over. They did their best. Sometimes you're just gonna have to restart your game. It's okay.
But mods on consoles, like, it's not really a normal thing, so it's really cool to see it.
Sometimes your game's gonna crash. It's okay. It's Skyrim. It crashed before.
Yeah.
What I do think is really cool is they have two separate types of mods. They have the community mods, which you can just go in and be like, oh, this is the most popular. I'm gonna download it.
Yeah.
They also have paid mods, which are mods that they have bought from the modders because they thought they were just that good.
And then polish them up.
And so I think that's just, I love to see games interacting with the community.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's just great. So if you haven't,
Skyrim is eternal.
It will never end.
They'll be adding fishing in 12 days.
I'm so hyped.
Fishing is coming in 12 days.
Chance was making fun of me. He's like, bro, you know they're going to re-release that. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to re-download it.
Yeah, so
you
good,
think
so
this
good.
is? It's great.
And then, of course, me and Mike have been playing a little bit of that there Metroid Dread. So for my thoughts on Metroid Dread, I think it's a good game. I think it's a very enjoyable game. I think it's one of Nintendo's best this year. And in a year where Nintendo's kind of been a little lax.
What else is even up to take that mantle, really?
Nothing. You got Pikmin 3, right?
No, not even.
You have I'm just talking about Nintendo releases in general. Pikmin 3.
Oh, wait, what do you in general?
For this year.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Pikmin 3 was even this year.
No. 3D All-Stars.
Yeah, but that's not like a new game.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Nintendo's had a lax year.
Let me see.
Go ahead.
Let me see if I can find anything.
2021 Nintendo releases.
Yeah.
Is there a Kirby game?
Oh, okay. New Pokemon Snap.
New Pokemon Snap? Nah.
It was alright.
Doesn't touch Dread.
Bowser's Fury is pretty good.
It is good, but it doesn't touch Dread.
I don't think it touched Dread either.
Because it's still kind of a re-release, but not.
We didn't try WarioWare.
WarioWare. That shit doesn't touch Dread. Monkey Ball is not.
Okay, don't relax.
Bro, you rocking with Monkey Ball like that?
Yeah, Monkey Ball's great.
Monkey Ball is good, but it's not Metroid Dread.
Yeah, it's not Metroid Dread.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
Why is this so difficult to find?
So I'm on a couple of minds of Metroid Dread. While I think it's a great game, very enjoyable, very fun, it's polished, it's crisp. It is the best that Metroid has ever been. They have done some things to modernize it that feel good, allowing you full 360-degree bullets. The traversal feels really well. The use of making some three-dimensional elements of the game, doing some cool backflips, jumps, cutscenes, nice stuff. Love to see it. But I do have some qualms with this game. Will it land in my top 10 of the year? Of course it will. It's a very good game. Metroid Dread's fun. It's intense. The bosses, you feel accomplished when you beat them. The Emmys, you feel accomplished when you finally beat them. But you know, I guess Mike really can't attest to this because he doesn't really play a lot of Metroidvania games in like the indie space or anything like that. For me, I think that the indie space has done Metroid better than Nintendo. And when Nintendo said, I'm going to come back and make Metroid again, I expected them to have at least watched the industry up to this point with the Metroidvanias that have been made by the indies, by other parties, to get here and take in some of those elements and be like, this is better, that is better, this is better. Those are good elements to put in this game, and they don't do that. I think games like Hollow Knight, even games like SteamWorld Dig 2, things like that have done Metroid better than Metroid at this point. And Metroid Dread, while it flies high, very high, especially in terms of other Metroids, I think it does not touch these other. I think these indie games are blowing Nintendo out of the water when it comes to the Metroidvania. It's good. I think the pacing of Metroid Dread is fucking great. The pace at which you constantly get new stuff, and it always feels like, wow, like it was 20 minutes ago I just got the double jump. Now I got the screw attack. And so it always feels like I just unlocked a new thing. I just unlocked a new thing. I can go to all this new stuff. I can do all this new stuff. Like you're constantly getting new things, and you never feel like a lull in that, and that is nice.
I will say,
go ahead.
I don't think that's a normal thing for people to feel, because the sentiment about this game on the internet is that you get lost for hours. That didn't happen.
Never happened to me one time.
I thought
it was pretty clearly structured where you should be going.
Yeah, nearly 100% of the time. It's like you go into a new area, you go right because you can't go left.
Yeah,
and then you beat a boss, and now you can go left. And like it's that simple.
The new ability you got, wherever it takes you, whatever is in nearby is destroyed by that ability, go that way. You're gonna get to where you're supposed to be going. Yeah. Especially once you unlock the ability to like send out the pings for the blocks. It became impossible to get lost.
Yeah, and I think the only way you get lost is if you go try and get collectibles or different items and stuff,
which I didn't.
And you don't remember where you were.
Yeah.
But as long as you're like, okay, I'm gonna go off the track here. And I just need to put a marker where I was gonna go before.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all it takes.
So I never really got lost or anything like that. Constantly felt like I was flying through. The bosses didn't feel too incredibly hard, but I know they were hard for a lot of people. But the big thing of this game, like my biggest qualm with this game, is the fact that. And maybe you don't have this problem, but the story, the world building, and the lore in Metroid is virtually non-existent or just like belligerent. It doesn't make very much sense at all. When you look at the world building and the heart and the charm and the characters and all that stuff in a game like Hollow Knight, and then you take a game like Metroid and you're like, okay, you have Samus, a random robot guy, a random bird guy, and a bunch of blobs and shit that are even the enemies in Hollow Knight are like there's context to those enemies. The art style, like they make sense where they are. They have lore to those enemies, even though it's not strictly there that you're just reading a lore page. Like it feels like these enemies have heart and make sense. But in Metroid, it was like I'm just killing some blobs. I'm
either
killing
some robots
some
or
birds.
some natural
exactly
thing. I agree, but I also feel when it comes to the story, I'm very unqualified to discuss whether it was good or not.
That's the thing. The thing that you read at the beginning of Metroid Dread, that's pretty much all the story of the other Metroid games.
So Metroid just doesn't have story.
Yes.
Which if that's the case, like I don't think anybody's expecting this to be like ridiculous story.
That's why I say other games have done Metroid better than Metroid at this point, because I think adding that into the game adds so much more. The charm, the heart, and the world building and stuff in a game like Hollow Knight or SteamWorld
or
Dig.
like Ori.
Ori, yes, even Ori.
That's a great story.
Yeah, I feel like it's super hard to get into a game like that where you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, right? Because you don't have.
Well, no, because I think Metroid does. This game was fine. I didn't need to care about the story, and I was still having a good time.
I was having a good time, but while I was having a good time, I felt like I was mindlessly like, okay, now I go here, I'll go through those blocks.
The only time that I had that problem was during the final boss.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to feel like this big moment, but it feels like nothing because nothing really makes sense.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, spoiler alert for Metroid Dread, skip forward 15 seconds. I'm somebody's daughter. I'm fucking, like, what the fuck? Like, I got this purple power thing. Like, just
stuff. Yeah, like the extent of my powers doesn't make sense. Yeah. The extent of my enemy's power doesn't make sense.
Yeah, spoilers over. But yeah, it just didn't make a ton of sense with the story and stuff. And I think you kind of need that nowadays because I genuinely felt like I'm just running and shooting. I'm running and shooting. I'm running and shooting. Oh, I'm at a boss. Now I got to think.
Okay, now I'm running when you're in the normal, like, you're in the drudges of this earth. You're just fighting monsters to get out. Yeah. That's fine. When you get to the clear boss that's been doing things this whole time. Yeah. And it still feels kind of uninspired story-wise. That's a problem.
I think what we need is like a reboot or something to really do something in that area. But that being said, I really did love this game, and I think it'll probably sit in like the 7 or 8 area of my top 10. It just I wish there was like more to the world, because like Ori has a fantastic narrative, art, and music. Hollow Knight has a fantastic like world building and like lore and things like that, and this weird world made of bugs and shit like that. It's like really cool. SteamWorld Dig is like this steampunk robot-y world that has really cool narrative and a really cool world building. But Metroid just has good gameplay and fun traversal, and is missing all the other parts.
Yeah, and it's a shame because Samus is really cool.
It's a cool ass character,
but did I learn a single thing about Samus in this game? No. Did I feel like Samus as a character changed? There's
nothing to learn about Samus. She's just while I love Samus, she's just a bounty hunter, and that's it. And there's nothing else.
But there's not a single emotion that you get from Samus.
You're not meeting other characters. She's not interacting with other characters, talking to other characters. There's a couple of sections in this game where you do, but it's still like a nothing event in those sections. Whereas in other games, you're talking to NPCs, you're doing things like that, and I think those things are necessary to really go forward in the future.
The only other problem I have is the jump.
Fuck that jump button.
The jump in this, if you're trying to double jump and dodge stuff like efficiently,
it shouldn't be a rhythm game for my double jump. Why do I have to press the double jump button at the perfect time? Like, why can I not just press the double jump button?
For the infinite jump, I could understand that.
Maybe, but at that point you're supposed to feel ultra powerful, which is another thing this game did really well. As you got more and more stuff towards the end of the game, it felt like I was just murdering everything in my path, and you felt like a powerhouse.
After the last fight, you're a
powerhouse.
And it feels good.
It feels great.
You're like destroying the map.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And that's such a good feeling. And you kind of get that before the final boss too.
Yeah.
So I like that, because at the beginning, like if I was to start this game over, I would feel so.
It was ass.
Helpless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt really good towards the end, but ultimately a good game. Couple misses there. I hope that they do it again and they do something cool, and I hope they do a reboot.
We had a good discussion about why I like Dread and not Dark Souls in the Discord. So go pay $1 and look at that one.
Yeah, it's $1 for endless conversation. It never stops.
It does never stop. But that's enough for the games we've been playing. That lasted a while. Now it's time for Reader Mail. You can get your questions read on the show by writing into synceduppod@gmail.com or the Reader Mail submissions tab of the Discord, just like Lucas did. He says, what is your favorite instance of a video game recreating a real-life location/city?
You go first.
I know you. Oh, me go first? I thought you said you had some good answers for this. You got some good answers for this?
Let's see if you have good answers too.
Hello, Noah. They're adding a free DLC to Bugsnax, by the way. No, free DLC. Anyway, so real life location.
You want me to go while you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think there's a couple obvious answers here. I think one, Assassin's Creed, easy.
Yeah, you got Division.
Oh, also very good.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Ooh, Spider-Man.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider's good.
What? There's so many. What did I say? I had to say.
Spider-Man. I had one literally.
God of War. Some of those places are real.
Yeah.
Very cool. The main ones.
The Watch Dogs games are cool.
Grand Theft Auto.
Theft Auto.
Those are inspired by real places.
Yeah, like Los Angeles and stuff.
Mm-hmm. The big ones for me were Assassin's Creed.
COD does pretty good.
Tomb Raider.
In their campaigns.
Obviously, the Tomb Raider places are probably a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
But those are still real places you can read about.
Nothing beats Spider-Man for me.
Yeah.
I don't think it
just
comes close.
The Queens and...
Because of how good
Brooklyn.
of a recreation it is.
Yeah, it's really good. The Crew. The answer is The Crew. It just recreates the entire United States.
Midnight Club, bro.
Midnight Club.
Oh, Forza. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah,
too.
Forza's nice as hell. Probably Forza.
Question in a week, you might get it completely different.
Yeah, it might be Mexico, my boy. Love to see it.
Forza could be...
Forza's going to be fire.
It could be Goaty.
Yeah, it might be Goaty. Nah, Halo will be Goaty. Anyway, Fielding writes in, have you guys ever had one game's control scheme absolutely destroy your ability to play a different but similar game? I went from playing Riders Republic to Descenders, and I kept crashing my mountain bike because the inputs were slightly different. Breath of the Wild's jump button also messed with me because Breath of the Wild's jump button was Y instead of A, which is that's a classic Bethesda thing. That was in Skyrim. Y.
Yeah, I changed that
shit
immediately.
So quick.
I changed. Also, I had to change my sprint button on Skyrim. Why is it LB, bro? Let me click my left stick and roll on.
Yeah, going from COD to playing Halo for like the first time was like...
It ruined you.
Yeah, because that was when you reloaded with like LB. It was like such a whole thing. I'm glad we're at a point in time now, because I know you're saying here with Descenders and Riders Republic, that's because those are very similar games. We're in an era now where like we're pretty universal. People will understand it. Like,
and even if you're not, most controller schemes are very
most games allow you to change your button mapping.
Unless you're Nintendo, once again.
Yeah, I run into this problem like every couple of weeks.
It's just Nintendo.
I go from Nintendo to Xbox to Nintendo to Xbox, and it's
Nintendos are different
every time,
and they have no control scheme that you can change.
That's twice.
Yeah, it's the Halloween episode.
I love it.
Screen.
We should have wore costumes, bro.
Anyway, that's it for this episode of the Synced Up Podcast. Thank you for watching or listening. Thank you to Jordan for joining me on the screen this time. He's going to be here for the post show.
Absolutely.
Mike will still be here for the post show, of course, doing the ones and twos. You should support us on Patreon at patreon.com/syncedup, where for $1 you can get access to Discord, or for $5 you get access to the post show that we're about to do. So if you did that, we'll see you in a few minutes. Everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow on the Filmcast, hopefully, while we rank Brother Bear and Home on the Range, which I still haven't watched yet. It's funny how long it takes you to watch these things when you're not super fucking stoked like Lilo and Stitch, you know? Anyway, we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.